Gentleman yields. I now recognize Mr. D'Esposito, out of order by request due to his time constraints, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And if I may, I think the video that Ms. Moran wanted to play is available. I'd like to yield her 30 seconds of my time.
Open borders are often portrayed as compassionate and virtuous, but there is nothing compassionate about allowing violent criminals into our country and robbing children of their mother. Joe Biden and his designated border czar, Kamala Harris, opened our borders to him and others like him, empowering them to victimize the innocent.
Reset the clock to 5 minutes. That was really the committee's fault for not allowing her to play that. Mr. D'Esposito, I don't expect you to yield that. That was our failure. You're now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chief, I know that was mentioned in your opening statement about human tragedies that have been experienced by migrants on their journey to the border. And I'd like to specifically talk about those, especially the female migrants, the ones that have been taken over by gangs and others trying to get them across the southern border. You said that, quote, "It's very common that female migrants are raped during the process. Most of them believe it's just part of the payment as they go up. It's unfortunately very regular within the population." Can you describe to the committee your interactions with migrants over the past 3.5 years and share with us some of the most shocking things that you've learned or are willing to share?
There's a number of them that I would. One of the key ones from San Diego is that when we had a large amount of undocumented minors coming into the country, we started to see recruiters in Mexico that would go around within the Tijuana area, because the migrants would stage in Mexico before they came into the United States. Recruiters would go around within Tijuana and recruit teenage women to come to the United States, and then they would leave their families. Oftentimes they had traveled to Tijuana with their families. They would leave their families behind, come to the United States, claim they were unaccompanied minors, and they would be put up in the facilities that the charities had set aside for them in San Diego. Once they had been put up, they're not held in detention. It's just a room. They were given a phone number to call, and then a recruiter would come down, often from Oakland or Los Angeles, and pick them up. These young women were then brought up and forced into prostitution, oftentimes in the Oakland and Los Angeles area and other places within the country. We had active cases going on, but because we did not have the resources, because we were inundated with so many people, we couldn't follow up. And this was actively going on within our area during the time frame.
And how many years did you spend in the Customs and Border Patrol?
Over 25.
And in those 25 years, is this the worst that you've seen in the last 3.5 years?
Yes.
So it's safe to say that the disastrous policies that were implemented by both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have led to some of the really most disgusting actions against women migrants along our southern border.
It has taken so much time away from the agents that they can't deal with those issues.
And obviously, there's a negative impact to the agents when they're dealing with situations like this as well.
Yes, dealing with the absolute despair and the misery. The vast majority of the people coming are good, normal people that have gone through extremely bad situations.
So Ms. Moran mentioned in her opening statement that she lives 1,800 miles from the southern border. And she said that in the country that we live in right now, if your city is a sanctuary city, these are her words, not mine, but I agree with them, that you are not safe. She said that if a city is a sanctuary city, you are not safe. 1,800 miles she lives from the border, and we heard the terrible story of the murder of her daughter. Every state, a border state, every city a border city. We just commemorated the 23rd anniversary of the September 11th attacks. And you mentioned, Chief, in your statement, Border Patrol zones across Texas, Arizona, California had no agent present for weeks and months at a time. Those who did not want to be caught could simply walk in. We have no idea who and what entered our country over this time. Throughout 2022 and 2023, I sent agents to Texas and Arizona to count gotaways. Those sectors could not even put agents in the field to see what they missed. What information do we have on the millions of known gotaways that have entered this country?
None.
Zero information of millions of people, some of which have found to be on the terror watch list. We have zero information.
Correct.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you all for being here. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The gentleman yields.